You are about to hear Crystallizing Public Opinion by Edward L. Bernays, with an introduction by Stuart Ewen. Narrated by Jonathan Quinn. Copyright 2017. BN Publishing. Online at bnpublishing.com. Part 1. Scope and Functions. Chapter 1. The Scope of the Public Relations Counsel. A new phrase has come into the language: Counsel on Public Relations. What does it mean? As a matter of fact, the actual phrase is completely understood by only a few, and those only the people intimately associated with the work itself. But despite this, the activities of the Public Relations Counsel affect the daily life of the entire population in one form or another. Because of the recent extraordinary growth of the profession of Public Relations Counsel and the lack of available information concerning it, an air of mystery has surrounded its scope and functions. To the average person, this profession is still unexplained, both in its operation and actual accomplishment. Perhaps the most definite picture is that of a man who somehow or other produces that vaguely defined evil, propaganda, which spreads an impression that colors the mind of the public concerning actresses, governments, railroads. And yet, as will be pointed out shortly, there is probably no single profession which within the last 10 years has extended its field of usefulness more remarkably and touched upon intimate and important aspects of the everyday life of the world more significantly than the profession of Public Relations Counsel. There is not event any one name by which the new profession is characterized by others. To some, the Public Relations Counsel is known by the term propagandist. Others still call him press agent or publicity man. Writing even within the last few years, John L. Given, the author of an excellent textbook on journalism, does not mention the Public Relations Counsel. He limits his reference to the old-time press agent. Many organizations simply do not bother about an individual name or assign to an existing officer the duties of the Public Relations Counsel. One bank's vice president is its recognized Public Relations Counsel. Some dismiss the subject or condemn the entire profession generally, and all its members individually. Slight examination into the grounds for this disapproval readily reveals that it is based on nothing more substantial than vague impressions. Indeed, it is probably true that the very men who are themselves engaged in the profession are as little ready or able to define their work as is the general public itself. Undoubtedly, this is due, in some measure, to the fact that the profession is a new one. Much more important than that, however, is the fact that most human activities are based on experience rather than analysis. Judge Cardozo, of the Court of Appeals of the State of New York, finds the same absence of functional definition in the judicial mind. Quote, "The work of deciding cases," he says, "goes on every day in hundreds of courts throughout the land. Any judge, one might suppose, would find it easy to describe the process which he had followed 1,000 times and more. Nothing could be further from the truth. Let some intelligent layman ask him to explain. He will not go very far before taking refuge in the excuse that the language of craftsmen is unintelligible to those untutored in the craft. Such an excuse may cover with a semblance of respectability an otherwise ignominious retreat. It will hardly serve to still the prick of curiosity and conscience. In the moments of introspection, when there is no longer a necessity of putting off with a show of wisdom the uninitiated interlocutor, the troublesome problem will recur and press for a solution. What is it that I do when I decide a case?" End quote. From my own records, and from current history still fresh in the public mind, I have selected a few instances which only in a limited measure give some idea of the variety of the Public Relations Counsel work and of the type of problem which he attempts to solve. These examples show him in his position as one who directs and supervises the activities of his clients wherever they impinge upon the daily life of the public. He interprets the client to the public, which he is enabled to do in part because he interprets the public to the client. His advice is given on all occasions on which the client appears before the public, whether it be in concrete form.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?